Hey Steelers fans, welcome back. Today we are diving into the latest from Pittsburgh, and trust me, there's plenty to unpack. Now, before we get into the thick of things, let's set the stage. The Steelers have been under a microscope lately, and, as always, head coach Mike Tomlin remains at the center of the conversation. This isn't new, but what makes it interesting is how he navigates this constant pressure while keeping his focus razor-sharp on the next game. We saw this most recently in his weekly press conference, where, true to form, there were no earth-shattering revelations, but the nuances of his responses reveal a lot about the culture and mindset that defines this team. The first topic that caught attention was the possibility of player changes, particularly in the wake of injuries or strategic adjustments. Tomlin mentioned Patrick Queen as a potential absence in the upcoming matchup in Baltimore, highlighting how the team's on-field roles might shift in his absence. This isn't just about moving pieces on a chessboard. It reflects the Steelers' approach to resilience, the adaptability of their roster, and the constant pressure to maintain performance even when the lineup is unsettled. Queen stepping out of his usual role would mean adjustments across the board, including someone else taking over as the green dot quarterback, which could have ripple effects throughout the offense. It's a delicate balance, and Tomlin's comments hinted that the team is thinking carefully about every move, but without making dramatic announcements. When it comes to coaching, Tomlin was equally measured. No sweeping changes are coming, no major overhauls, but there's an underlying acknowledgement that small tweaks happen behind the scenes. It's subtle, but it speaks volumes about his leadership style. He isn't reactive in a headline-driven sense. He is focused on managing the team in the moment, in the current season, without getting bogged down by trends or patterns from the past. That focus is quintessential Tomlin. It's about the next game, the next challenge, and how the team executes under pressure. A significant portion of his press conference addressed questions about the defense and some of the repeated plays that gave the team trouble, particularly against the Bills. Analysts and fans alike have dissected these moments, but Tomlin's perspective emphasizes preparation, film study, and the insights gleaned from observing opponent tendencies. He acknowledged the success the Bills had, explaining that the coaches reviewed the film to understand what led to that level of execution. It wasn't a moment of panic. It was a professional assessment of performance and adjustment. There was also discussion about player participation, particularly Pat Frymouth, who saw minimal action. Tomlin's answer, straightforward as always, reinforced a core principle of the Steelers. The team is full of capable athletes, and each gets their opportunity when the situation calls for it. One of the most compelling elements of the press conference was Tomlin's take on the fans' reactions, particularly chants calling for his firing. It's a topic he has navigated multiple times, but this time he framed it within the context of sports as entertainment. Winning, in his eyes, is the primary form of entertainment for the fan base. When the team wins, excitement follows. When it doesn't, frustration is inevitable. His perspective is unapologetically focused on the game itself, rather than the optics or emotional undertones in the stands. This isn't about avoiding responsibility. It's about keeping the spotlight on performance and preparation. Fans' reactions, while loud and sometimes critical, are part of the ecosystem of professional football, and Tomlin acknowledges them without letting them dictate his actions. Even when pressed on topics outside the XS and OS, Tomlin maintains his boundaries. He won't entertain questions he has long decided to sidestep, not out of obstinacy, but because in his philosophy, each season is contained. Trends don't carry over from year to year in a way that affects his immediate strategy. Every game exists in isolation. Every season resets the board. This mindset has guided him through a decade-plus of coaching in Pittsburgh, shaping a team culture that prioritizes focus, discipline, and accountability over reacting to noise from outside. The interplay between fans and team performance also came up in the questions submitted by viewers. Fans like Samantha, who shared concerns about whether the crowd would support the Steelers in upcoming home games or inadvertently exacerbate struggles, highlight the emotional investment of Pittsburgh's fan base. Tomlin and the organization recognize the intensity of this connection. Pittsburgh is not just a city where sports happen. It's a city where identity, pride, and loyalty intertwine with every play. Fans here are not passive observers. Their engagement, whether cheering, chanting, or expressing frustration, reflects a deeper cultural relationship with the team. This dynamic, unique to Pittsburgh, ensures that every game, every decision, and every outcome resonates far beyond the scoreboard. The comparison between the Steelers' current situation and the Pirates' challenges in recent seasons provides an additional lens. Fans' reactions to struggling teams often extend beyond disappointment. They reflect accumulated frustration and a desire to see accountability at the highest levels. In Pittsburgh, where sports are woven into the city's DNA, this intensity is magnified. The crowd's response isn't just about the game at hand. It's about decades of expectations, heartbreaks, triumphs, and the perpetual drive for excellence. This creates an environment where every choice, from player utilization to coaching decisions, is scrutinized, debated, and felt personally by thousands of fans. In examining all this, what stands out most is how Tomlin balances pressure, fan expectations, and the day-to-day realities of coaching a professional football team. His philosophy is consistent. Focus on the next challenge, execute with precision, and maintain a disciplined approach regardless of external noise. There is an elegance in this simplicity, even if it frustrates those who desire more dramatic accountability or emotional transparency. For Pittsburgh, it's a reminder that the culture of the Steelers isn't just built on wins and losses, but on a deeper understanding of resilience, preparation, and unwavering focus on what comes next. From injuries and player adjustments to coaching decisions and fan reactions, every layer of the organization intertwines to form a complex, fascinating narrative. Tomlin's approach may seem opaque at times, but it is strategic, disciplined, and grounded in a philosophy that has defined Pittsburgh football for years. Every season, every game, and every play is an opportunity to execute, to adapt, and to measure success not solely by reaction, but by performance under pressure. And for a city like Pittsburgh, with its unparalleled sports culture, that mindset resonates far beyond the field. Fans invest their energy, passion, and identity into every down, and the team's responsibility is to channel that into tangible performance week after week. As we move deeper into the discussion about the Steelers and the current state of the team, it's impossible to ignore the emotional and psychological dynamics at play, both on the field and in the stands. Pittsburgh fans are unlike any other, not just because of their dedication, but because of how deeply intertwined sports are with their identity. Every season, every play, and every decision reverberates through the city, shaping conversations, social interactions, and even personal routines. That energy translates into heightened expectations for the team, and with expectations comes frustration when performance does not align with hopes. This is the environment in which Tomlin coaches, balancing pressure, strategy, and emotion with remarkable steadiness. The upcoming game in Baltimore underscores this reality. Facing a division rival in a stadium packed with intensity adds layers of complexity to an already challenging season. Injuries, roster changes, and the need for tactical adjustments all converge in a high-stakes scenario. Tomlin's focus remains singular: winning the next football game. That mindset shapes his communication, his preparation, and the decisions he makes daily. He approaches each opponent analytically, weighing tendencies, evaluating matchups, and identifying where the team can gain an edge. It's a meticulous process that often goes unnoticed by casual observers, but is the backbone of consistent performance at the professional level. In reviewing last week's struggles, it is clear that film study and attention to detail are central to the Steelers' approach. Tomlin and his coaching staff dissect every play, not to assign blame, but to identify patterns, tendencies, and opportunities for improvement. Whether it's analyzing defensive alignments, offensive spacing, or player reactions under pressure, the team uses these insights to refine execution. Even when mistakes occur, the emphasis is on learning and adjusting rather than dwelling on failures. This iterative process, while less visible than touchdowns or sacks, is critical to the team's ability to respond effectively in high-pressure situations. Fan engagement, however, adds an unpredictable element. The reactions of those in the stands, from chants and cheers to boos and jeers, influence the atmosphere, but do not dictate the team's strategy. Tomlin understands this distinction, emphasizing preparation over performance for entertainment purposes. Winning is the primary mechanism by which fans are engaged, but he recognizes that frustration is natural when the outcomes do not meet expectations. The city's unique sports culture amplifies these dynamics, with fans' passion reflecting a deep emotional investment in the team's identity and legacy. The narrative of the Steelers also intersects with broader reflections on Pittsburgh sports as a whole. Parallels between the challenges facing the Steelers and those experienced by the Pirates or the Penguins highlight patterns in fan expectations, organizational responses, and the tension between hope and disappointment. Fans have witnessed cycles of triumph and struggle, shaping a collective memory that informs current attitudes. When the team falters, the reaction often extends beyond the field, tapping into historical grievances, organizational frustrations, and a desire for accountability at the highest levels. Understanding these layers is essential for interpreting both the intensity of fan reactions and the resilience required from the coaching staff. Tomlin's communication style, often measured and restrained, reflects an awareness of these pressures. He navigates inquiries with precision, providing insights into strategy and personnel while maintaining boundaries around topics he considers outside the scope of immediate concern. This approach reinforces a philosophy that each season is self-contained, each game a discrete challenge, and each performance a measure of preparation and execution. Historical trends and external pressures do not alter his focus, allowing the team to maintain consistency in an environment where distractions are inevitable. In examining the team's roster, injuries and player rotations are central to understanding both strategy and performance. Adjustments are not made lightly. Every shift in position or role carries implications for chemistry, timing, and execution. The potential absence of key players, such as Patrick Queen, triggers a series of decisions designed to maintain effectiveness without compromising the overall game plan. Backup players are prepared, roles are reassigned, and coaching responsibilities are redistributed, all under the guidance of a staff committed to resilience and adaptability. The depth of the roster is tested in these moments, revealing both strengths and areas requiring attention, while also highlighting the importance of preparation and readiness at all levels of the team. Beyond the technical aspects of football, the psychological dynamics within a locker room are equally significant. Players' confidence, morale, and cohesion are influenced by outcomes, communication, and leadership. Tomlin's philosophy emphasizes accountability and focus, but he also recognizes the need to manage emotions, reinforce resilience, and maintain a collective belief in the team's capacity to overcome adversity. This balance between discipline and support is a hallmark of effective leadership in professional sports, ensuring that players remain engaged, motivated, and prepared for the challenges of each game. Fan perception continues to play a complex role in this narrative. Questions about whether crowds will support or hinder the team reflect deeper cultural patterns unique to Pittsburgh. Fans' voices, whether expressed through active cheering, chants, or even frustration, contribute to the environment in which the Steelers operate. While Tomlin does not let these reactions dictate decisions, he acknowledges their existence and significance. Engagement is not just about entertainment. It is a reflection of identity, pride, and emotional investment. For players and coaches alike, understanding the weight of this investment is critical to navigating the pressures of professional football. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling through the NFL world after what could be one of the most shocking moves of the offseason. Patrick SURTAIN II is reportedly signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and insiders suggest this could instantly transform their secondary into one of the league's elite units. The buzz around SURTAIN, widely regarded as one of the top cornerbacks in the game, has been relentless ever since whispers of potential trades and free agent moves began circulating. Known for his lockdown coverage, football IQ, and ability to read quarterbacks like a book, SURTAIN has been a cornerstone in discussions about the most dominant defensive backs in recent years. Steelers fans are already imagining a secondary that could rival some of the best in NFL history. Pairing SURTAIN with Pittsburgh's existing defensive talents could create mismatches that leave opposing quarterbacks scrambling and force offenses to rethink their passing strategies. Analysts are speculating that his presence alone could elevate the entire defense, giving the team a rare balance between aggressive pass rush and stifling coverage. The move would also send a loud message to the rest of the league. Pittsburgh is serious about reclaiming its identity as a defensive powerhouse. The chatter isn't limited to the field. Social media is ablaze with mock lineups, speculative highlights, and debates over how SURTAIN would fit into the Steelers' defensive schemes. Some insiders hint at potential ripple effects, suggesting this signing could trigger further moves as other teams scramble to adjust to a suddenly fearsome secondary in the AFC. While nothing is confirmed officially, sources close to the situation insist that the deal is imminent and excitement levels are reaching a fever pitch. If true, this acquisition could redefine expectations for Pittsburgh's defense and reshape the conversation around elite cornerbacks in the league. For fans and analysts alike, the mere possibility of Patrick Surtain roaming the Steelers secondary is enough to spark endless debate, speculation, and, of course, sheer excitement. Could this be the start of a new defensive dynasty? Only time will tell, but for now, the rumor mill is working overtime, and Steelers Nation is buzzing like never before. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.